She had come to the lakeside to remember her late husband, but suddenly gunshots rang out nearby, followed by a string of muffled curses. The elderly woman's heart skipped a beat, and she hurried to investigate. The second gunshot came quickly after, and just as she crouched by a car, she saw a girl, her hands bound behind her back, being chased by a man. The girl collapsed, and the man's angry shouts became clearer.
Try that again. You're dead.
Realizing the danger, the elderly woman fumbled for her phone to call the police, but there was no signal in this remote lakeside area. Then, suddenly, she remembered something. An hour earlier, she had seen this man. 3 days ago, she had braved a snowstorm and traveled halfway across America to reach Minnesota, only to get lost in the blizzard. She had stumbled upon the man's cabin by mistake. When she asked for directions, she had caught sight of bloodstains on the ground, and when the man noticed her noticing, she panicked. Thankfully, the man had pointed out that the nearby Shelda Lake wasn't far behind his cabin, and he casually explained that the blood was from a deer he had accidentally hit. At the time, the elderly woman, focused on her promise to visit the lake to remember her husband, hadn't thought much of it and turned to head toward the lake. Upon reaching the middle of the lake, she set down her gear and tears started to fall uncontrollably. Now she was the only one left in the world. She shakily opened a rusty tin box containing old items she and her husband had used here years ago. Each item soaked in memories. Just then, the sound of a gunshot rang out, and the scene from the cabin with the bloodstains rushed back to her mind. Suddenly realizing the danger, the elderly woman quickly packed up her things, intending to drive back to the cabin to check things out. But as soon as she started the car, it got stuck in the snow. With no other choice, she set off on foot. When she got close to the cabin, she saw the man rushing out, seemingly heading somewhere. The elderly woman seized the opportunity to approach the cabin and began scanning the area. Suddenly, she heard a loud scream from the basement. She peeled back the window's screen and saw the girl locked up inside.
You hurt? You alone?
At that moment, the sound of an engine roared. The elderly woman quickly hid behind the house. 2 cars stopped, and the man's wife got out, but her expression clearly showed she wasn't someone to be trifled with. The elderly woman watched as the woman entered the house and immediately shoved a pill into her mouth, as if to relieve some kind of pain. Seeing that the couple was too busy to pay attention to the basement, the elderly woman returned to the window, writing a message on the glass. "I won't leave you," just to give the girl some courage to hold on. She then returned to her car, threw back the tarp, and revealed a simple portable cabin that could be assembled inside. Meanwhile, the woman stepped outside, clutching her stomach in pain and bent over. She suddenly noticed a red glove by the door. Her expression shifted immediately, and she rushed to the basement window. Thankfully, the girl was still there. Then she noticed a trail of footprints. Alert, she immediately became suspicious, ran back into the house, and confronted her husband. The man finally admitted that an old lady had gotten lost, came to the cabin, and then headed to the lake. The woman exploded with anger, grabbing a gun and rushing outside. The man tried to explain that the old lady had only passed by.
Where are we going?
To tidy up your fucking mess.
Soon, the couple found the simple cabin by the lake, thinking the elderly woman was inside. The woman, with a pill still in her mouth and a gun in hand, advanced toward the cabin step by step, but this was exactly what the elderly woman had planned. She wasn't inside at all.